Hey guys, Dave here. Welcome to the Centurions Review, the punk rock band of Wargame Review Institutions. Today we'll be taking a look at Space Hulk 3rd Edition. The 3rd edition came out in 2009, whereas the original came out in 1989, and then there was a 4th edition that came out in 2014. This is one of the most well-liked board games I've ever seen in my life. To this day, there's still a core group of players who are playing this game regularly, so that shows that it's got good replayability and people find the game to be fun. The difference between this version and the original version is that this has much better miniatures. They're more detailed and all the supplemental rules are included, so you don't have like basic rules and then a advanced rule book and then a supplemental rule book. It's just one set of rules that's all there, all in one place. Which, since I've played this before, it won't be a first look video. It'll be an overview instead. Let's take a look at this fantastic game's components and rules now. Man vs. alien in desperate battle. From the depths of space, an incredibly ancient vessel drifts slowly towards the Imperium of mankind. On board the Space Hulk are untold thousands of ferocious alien creatures known as Gene Stealers. The mighty Space Marines are the only thing that stands between humanity and this hideous threat. These brave warriors must enter the tomb-like Space Hulk and defeat the alien menace that lies within. Space Hulk is a game for 2 players based on the battles fought between the Space Marines and the alien Gene Stealers. One player commands the Space Marines as they attempt deadly missions in the darkened corridors and rooms of the ancient Space Hulk, and the other commands the hordes of Gene Stealers opposing them. Space Hulk is easy to learn but hard to master, and will provide countless hours of fast and furious action as you play through the 12 missions that are included with the game. Alright, let's see what's inside this big boy here. Here's one of the most important pieces, the sand timer. This had been stored in the garage, and since it's cold out, it took the sand timer about 2 hours to cool down enough where the sand would fall correctly. It kept getting jammed, but now it seems okay. Purpose of the sand timer is during the Space Marine turn, they have a limited amount of time to do all their actions, and if the sand timer runs out before the Space Marines have done all their actions, their turn just instantly ends. Whereas when the Gene Stealers go, they don't use a sand timer. They get to take as much time as they want. That shows the greater speed of the Gene Stealers or something. So in here you got tons of map pieces. Different scenarios you put together, different maps. There's 12 scenarios. There's also a bunch of some scenarios that were in White Dwarf magazines, and some scenarios you can get online that regular people have created. So there's quite a bit of replayability with this game, actually an enormous amount. Here's a command screen. When you get command points, you'll put them on the 0 here, and the command points will be written on the reverse side so the Gene Stealer doesn't see it. And as you use them, you move them here, and if you use more command points than you have and the Gene Stealer player catches you, you lose the game. Here's for your assault cannon. Your assault cannon gets 10 shots before you have to reload. You have 1 magazine to reload with, and once you're on your 2nd magazine, there's a possibility that the assault gun will overheat and blow up, killing the Space Marine. Alright, these I don't believe were included with it. These are just some cheat sheets the guy who owned this before me had printed out. Here's a bunch of doors. You can break down doors and stuff in this game. These templates are used when you fire a flamer. A flamer, you'll target 1 square, and if the square is like inside a room, all the squares in the room will be considered on fire too. So if you fire it in there and there's 3 Gene Stealers, you get to roll against all 3 of them to try and kill them, so that's kind of cool. But it costs 2 action points to fire a flamer instead of the usual 1 for like a storm bolter. More map pieces. Alright, you get the idea. Let's take a look at the tokens now. These are the most important ones. These are the scanner tokens. On the back of these it says how many Gene Stealers it represents, so that represents 2. So when Gene Stealers first enter the map, if they are not within line sight of a Space Marine Terminator, you will use one of these tokens to represent the force. So you move this around so the Space Marine doesn't know how many are there, and then you can voluntarily turn it over and put the Gene Stealers on the map if you are not in line of sight of the Space Marines. However, if this is on the map and the Space Marines move into line of sight of this, then these get deployed. And there's different tokens here to show Overwatch and Guard. Overwatch basically allows you to fire during the opponent's turn if they move within range, and Guard means you'll get a close combat bonus on the opponent's turn if they close assault you. And then as far as command points you can use after you take your regular 4 actions for each Space Marine. You can use a command point to get an additional action for each one, or you can save some of them for the opponent's part of the turn, and then when the Gene Stealers are going, you can spend command points to shoot during their part of the turn. Alright, here's some dice. I'm not going to pull out every little piece here, but let's take a look at the miniatures now, because that's the main claim to fame to this game. They're very nice. I got this for a song and a dance. Let me pull them out of here so you can actually see them. Yeah, I got the game for $70 with the miniatures painted at auction, which I think is a fantastic price. The paint job on the miniatures isn't bad. It's pretty good. Here's the Librarian here. The Librarian has psychic powers that he can use during the game. He's not in all the scenarios, though. Let me show you the Gene Stealers. Gene Stealers are a type of Tyranid. Here they are. They look alright. Guy did a decent job painting these. What irritated me, though, is when I got the game, he didn't have the miniatures in like a separate box. They were just shoved in here with all the other stuff, and 4 of them had broken, so I had to repair them. And 2 of the broken ones is actually broken off their base, and any of you who own miniatures know if something breaks off the base and you repair it, generally the repair doesn't last that long. It'll end up breaking again, so that's kind of unfortunate. But other than that, they're very nice miniatures. Here's the rule book. Let's go through that real quick. So here it's starting with an introduction. Space Hulk is basically a derelict spacecraft, and the Marines have boarded it, and there's these evil Gene Stealers that are attacking the Marines, and the Marines have to run different missions and stuff. Here it's talking about how to put the figures together. Looks like, yeah, most of them are only like 3 pieces or 2 pieces, so that's really easy to put together. And they're made to be snapped together, so you don't even need glue, so that's kind of cool. Here it's talking about the mission book here. Game board, we'll get into that. Here's the mission display again. Oh, and that's the psionic point track there. I forgot to mention that. So there's the blips. I think I call them by something else, but yeah, they're blips. I call them scanners, I think. Yeah, but blips is the actual official name. And here's where the rules start. It's going into the rules about the command points. Those are important. I explained those a little bit a minute ago. And your action phase. For your action, you can move forward 1 space, backwards 1 space, sideways 1 square, but only if you're a Gene Stealer. Space Marines are incapable of moving sideways. So if they want to move to a square directly to the left or right of them, they will have to spend an action to turn first and then walk forward. However, Gene Stealers can step sideways, no problem. Space Marines are also incapable of turning 180. They'd have to spend a 90-degree turn twice to do it. And to fire a Storm Bolter or Assault Cannon costs 1. Clear a Jam Storm Bolter, that costs 1. And Set Overwatch is 2. And Fire Heavy Flamer is 2. And Close Assault and Open Closed Door. With a Storm Bolter, if you fire it during Overwatch, you're considered to be firing it like crazy, so there's a possibility then that it can jam. In normal firing, a Storm Bolter won't jam, but if you're on Overwatch, it may. Right here it's talking about your move and turn actions. Your shoot actions, here it's showing the Space Marine can't step left or right directly, whereas the Gene Stealer can. And here's your line of sight here. And this is showing what you can see. If you're right next to a corridor, you can see into it, but like this Marine here's 2 away, so you can't see that Gene Stealer there. And here it's going into Overwatch actions such as shooting. And overlapping Overwatch. With overlapping Overwatch, both Marines would get to fire. But if the first one fires and he kills the Gene Stealer, the second one still has to fire. The reason for that being just to see if the second one jams his weapon. So you're forced to fire both no matter what. And close assaults, you close assault the square in front of you. Close assaults, the Gene Stealers don't have a ranged weapon, but they're very tough in close assault. In close assault, they throw 3 dice, whereas the Marines generally just throw 1 unless they have some weapons or something that affects that or gives them like a +1. But yeah, the Gene Stealers, you don't want to get into a close assault with them because they are tough. And here it's talking about guard actions. That's when you're waiting for a close assault to occur. And here's reinforcements. Marines do not get any reinforcements. Only Gene Stealers get reinforcements. And it's talking about placing the blips and moving them around and converting them. And like I've mentioned before, involuntary and voluntary conversion. And here's how to place the Gene Stealers after you've revealed them. And here's ladders. So it's got ladder rolls showing how much it costs to move onto a ladder and if you have to do close assault when you're on a ladder and stuff. And there's little objects in here. Some of the scenarios you may have to retrieve an object. Alright, and here's the Wargear rules about the Storm Bolter, the special rules. And the jamming, like I mentioned. And each Marine has a power fist, but the power fist doesn't give them much. It doesn't give them an advantage against the Gene Stealers very much. And there's the assault cannon. The assault cannon throws 3 dice. And it hits on a 5 or 6. And there's sustained fire in this. So normally if you fire like a Storm Bolter, you'll hit on a 6. Or if you fire a assault cannon, you'll hit on a 5 or 6. But if you then use another action to shoot again without moving or turning or anything, the Storm Bolter will hit on a 5 and 6 instead, and the Assault Cannon will hit on a 4, 5, 6 instead. Alright, here's the Chain Fist. You use, that's this thing right here, use that to break down doors. And here's some of the Heavy Flamer rules and the Lightning Claw rules. So you'll roll 2 dice in close assault as a Marine if you have lightning claws and add a +1 to the result of the highest dice. And you got a power sword, which is very effective, and a storm shield. Storm shield, that means the enemy will throw 2 dice against you instead of 3. And then the thunder hammer. And Space Marine Sergeants get a +1 in combat. So if you have a thunder hammer, you get another +1, so that's a total of +2. And here's the special units, the Librarian. He's got these psychic points he can expend. Psychic Storm's a good one. It will, I think you use it, no line of sight is required, and I think the troop you're attacking has to be within 6 squares of you, and it's destroyed on a 2 through 6, or you can fire at everything in that room and it'll be destroyed. Each of those will be destroyed on a 4, 5, or 6. And here's the special unit for the Gene Stealers, the Brood Lord. He's hard to kill. If you hit him once in shooting, it has no effect. When you shoot, you have to hit him with both dice, otherwise nothing happens. However, that doesn't apply to close combat. And he's very tough in close combat too. He's more likely to damage you than the regular ones. And he's immune to Psychic Storm. Alright, so there's a nice reference sheet here on the back which contains quite a bit of pretty much everything you need to know to play. Except for like the exception rules, but it's a good reference sheet. Here's the mission book. We'll just glance through that. So it starts out with some fluff. Here's your first mission, Suicide Mission. Mission number 2, Exterminate. Mission number 3, Rescue. Mission number 4, Cleanse and Burn. Number 5 is Decoy. And number 6 is Alarm Call. And number 7 is artifact. Interesting spelling of artifact. Number 8 is escape route. And number 9 is regroup. 10 is defend. 11 is unknown life forms. It describes the whole game, really. Number 12 is pitfall. So there's quite a selection that come with the game, and like I said, you can get more out of White Dwarf magazines or out of or off the internet, rather. This White Dwarf here, this one contains a... This all was included when I bought it. This one contains a new scenario, I believe. Yeah, here it is, Mission 1, Beachhead. Is there any other scenarios? Or yeah, I think that's it. Oh, and here's another one called Disable the Shields. And this one here has some articles about Space Hulk and shows you what these things look like and how you can paint them. Or wait, no, those are blood. Oh no, these are Space Hulk. My mistake, yeah. So yeah, you can use that as an example for painting. Yeah, it's showing an example game here and stuff. That's cool. Alright, and then this guy had printed out a bunch of stuff online. Here's a mission, Knowledge is Power. Here's one Deathbringer mission. And here's a Spawn of Execution mission book. So that's even more missions there. I won't go through all this, but yeah, this guy printed out some useful stuff here. Thanks for watching, guys, and as mentioned, this is a great game and people are still playing this game to this day, so if you see it, definitely pick it up, and if you've played it, definitely chime in and let us know what you thought about it. Have a good evening.